Greetings. As you can see from the title of this video, I want to explain why Nebro Tishin, who is myself, decided to go by the name Ifayemi Sangoyomi. Over the past couple of years, I have been studying Ifa, and studying Orisha from the different traditions, Lukumi, as well as Isheshe, or traditional Ifa. Because I am a Tata in Palomayome Kambisa, I wanted to understand how an individual like myself could continue to have full licencia in Palomayome Kambisa and yet still being a initiate or priest in Ifa. When I analyzed the Lukumi tradition, I saw a lot of limitations that once you went into Ifa, you had to end all most of your duties as a Tata and Palo. And through long divination and communication with the spirits, um, I was instructed to enter into Ifa through the traditional route or the Isheshe tradition. And what I found out through the Isheshe tradition is that the limitations do not exist. They don't exist. Being that Ifa originated in Africa and is still practiced prominently and predominantly in Africa, I would think that anything that was an offshoot from that would not necessarily be um, orthodox or yet indigenous to that particular continent and so forth. Um, what happens when you get initiated into Ifa through Isheshe as a Palero, you basically receive the Ache of Ifa, the Ache of a Babalao, able to perform all of the duties, rituals, ceremonies um, that you learn. If you learn it and you know how to do it, you can do it once you're initiated. There isn't a bunch of different initiations that you need to receive to be able to cut animals or to be able to do this or do that. No, none of that. Once you're initiated, then you begin training and you start learning how to do things. But when you're initiated, Ifa gives you a name through divination. Just like in Palo Mayombe or any other tradition that incorporates that particular type of um, naming ceremony. Um, so in that name, in that divination, the name Ifayemi Sangoyomi came from Ifa to identify me and what's over my destiny. Ifa is strictly about um, protecting your destiny. Through Ifa oracle, through Ifa divination, one is able to offset the um, osogbo or misfortune that may manifest in life, whether naturally or unnaturally, by making ebo. How this works with traditions like Palo is something that I'll further explain in other videos because it's a more in-depth conversation. And it's really outside of the scope of what most people are used to hearing about Ifa, Apollo, connection, and so forth. But when you approach it from an Isheshe route or perspective, um, you understand how the energies work together, how they work together. The only thing that I notice in Isheshe is that, like, I've always looked at every tradition as whatever priest is of that tradition, that's that particular priest's skills and attributes, powers, ache, so forth. Um, I look at each tradition as being a significant piece to the puzzle. I don't look at one as being higher than the other. I don't look at Palo as being higher than Santeria or more powerful than Santeria, or Santeria being more powerful than Palo, or higher than Palo, or Ifa being more powerful than all of them, and so forth. I don't look at it like that. I look at it like um, Ifa is the oracle of destiny. Ifa's responsibility is to protect an individual's destiny. Okay? And by working with the Orishas, that individual is able to offset any type of mishaps they may manifest or be destined to manifest in their life. They're also able to alter their destiny. Because without Ifa, they may have been destined to experience some misfortune. And then through Ifa was able to alter their destiny through Ebo, so that the blessings that they were supposed to get in this life come to them. Palo works directly on the earth plane, and therefore, a lot of times when you receive Ifa divination, things will be described in a divination that will require you to make Ebo, but in reality, you can just clean it off in Palo, especially if you know it's coming from Palo or any other tradition. These are things that I observed, that I've learned from just observing the practices themselves and being a part of them. Um, so the reason why I no longer go by Nebro Tishin is because through my initiation into Ifa and being elevated as a Babalawo, I choose to identify with my priesthood as a Babalawo as I continue to grow, train, learn, and become a more efficient priest of Ifa. It has nothing to do with hiding or running from anybody or any of those type of things. Like, that's not the reason why you get initiated into these things. Only ignorant people will try to make you believe that that's what it is, but it's not. All of us are on a path of spiritual evolution, whether we fight it, whether we um, go with it, whether we are knowledgeable of it or not. We're all spiritually evolving. Every single action that we perform in this life is a part of our spiritual evolution. And these various traditions that we gain initiations into, they help to balance the energies in our life. They help to balance the energies in our life and around our life. It was prophesied that I would be a Babalawo as soon as I got initiated into Palo. The elder priest told me that I would become a Babalawo. I didn't even want to be a Babalawo, to be honest. But then it kept coming up. And then as it kept coming up, then, of course, me being obedient to spirit, I'm going to move forward with, what Spirit tells me I need to do to keep my destiny intact. So you see, it has nothing to do with running to anybody, seeking help. It has nothing to do with being afraid of anything. It's just when you are really about this life, and you really are about the life of a priest, a magician, what have you, you do whatever it is that you need to do in order to spiritually evolve and grow. Why would I deny myself the blessings that Ifa has to give me if it comes up in divination that Ifa indeed has something to give me? It really is really sad, that the spiritual community is as degraded as it is. It really is. And I'm not going to say that I'm guilty. I'm not guilty of participating in the toxicity at some point. You know what I mean? Like, the stuff is really toxic. It's toxic and it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense. A person will sit up and question my authenticity when in their heart and mind they have tested my spiritual authenticity, but still, for the sake of whatever emotion or psychological adjunct that they may be experiencing, will proceed to speak ill on my name, to speak ill on my person, and know that they lying. I could see if it was really true, if a lot of things were true or whatever was true, but it's not the case. So the changing of the name also denotes a change of vibration and energy. Nebro Tishin carried a particular energy. If you research that name, if you research where those words come from the Gnostic as well as the Avestan, you understand that that particular name is associated with some very dark forces. Okay? Removing that name through my initiations and elevations releases me from that particular type of energy. This is the reason why, I have no desire to respond to anyone, to any slander, lies, any of that stuff. I have no reason. I've been working on this internet for more than half a decade, you know, doing my part to service the community in the best way that I can, you know. There's many people who can attest to my work. Many people who can attest to the lives that have been changed due to my work. Testimonials and so forth. It doesn't even make sense for a client to reach out to someone who clearly is slandering me and ask them if they if they think that I'm authentic. You already know this person doesn't think that I'm authentic because they slander me every single day. So why would they tell you that I'm authentic? And people don't realize that the moment they do this, they sabotage any spiritual work that I have going with them. My spirits are very sentimental because I treat them like family. They can see what I'm not seeing. So if you're out there on the internet contacting this one and contacting that one, asking about me and allowing them to poison your heart with doubt and fear and all of that other stuff, then it changes. Once your heart changes, then my spirits be like, oh, okay, we ain't doing shit for this person. You know what I'm saying? Because they're now on a path to try to sabotage our priest. So they're not going to do nothing for you. They might even fight you, start causing bad shit to happen to you. I mean, because I am doing work for you, you are on their shrine, whether you believe it or not. So I don't understand that, but it is what it is. I have no desire to combat anything that anybody says. Anything that I've said about people, I've literally deleted from the internet as much as I could. I don't care to exist in that reality, in that vibration. I remember that vibration, I remember that reality, but there's no need to exist there. I don't exist there. And it's it's very peaceful where I am right now. It's very peaceful. A lot of things have changed. A lot of inward transformations have taken place. A lot of things have opened up. If people are interested in initiation, if people are interested in initiation, whether Palo Kambisa, Palo Mayombe Kambisa, or Ifa, they should contact us. We're located in Atlanta, Georgia. Um, and we can help point you in the right direction. It might not necessarily be with us, but we do refer people to other priests and priestesses because that's just how we roll, you know. We don't believe in competing. That's why compete. I don't need to compete. I have Ifa. I have Arisha. I have Nkisi. I don't need to compete with anyone. You see. So I have no problem referring people to other priests and priestesses. I think that's how it should be. That's what makes the community strong. And that's what instills the faith and the beauty back into the community and back into the traditions. And by having that type of spirit, people don't have to do the things that they do to manipulate people, deceive people, or what have you. They don't have to do those things because when we behave in that way, the spirits are going to bless us. They're going to continue to bless us regardless of whatever type of opposition that tries to come against you. They're going to continue to bless you as long as you do what it is that you have to do. As long as you do that. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video. But just know that, the reason why I changed my name is because of the evolution that, I've been going through. And, but it does not limit me from performing any type of spiritual work, any work in Palo, or any of that nature, anything that needs to be done in Ifa or Risha, we can also do that. So if you need anything, click the link in the description of the video, book a session, and let's see what we can do for you. Or not. All right. Peace.